Welcome back to BFH Highlights, where we bring you the most valuable takeaways from an episode of the Business is Fucking Hard podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Coote, and today's highlights are from our episode with Emma May, founder of SophieGrace, a clothing brand dedicated to simplifying workwear for professional women. Emma's journey is a true testament to the entrepreneurial spirit. She's someone who constantly identifies gaps and opportunities and turns them into successful ventures. From a career in law to founding a real estate brokerage, Emma has never been afraid to step into uncharted territory. It's that same attitude that led her to launch SophieGrace. In today's episode, we're focused on Emma's path to building SophieGrace, her fashion brand, and how she navigated some of the toughest challenges, including launching just before the pandemic. Let's dive in. Hi there, I'm Trevor Coote, and this is Business is Fucking Hard, the podcast where business owners pull back the curtain and talk about the realities of owning a business. We'll hear their stories, learn some lessons, and have some fun along the way. Thanks for joining us. Emma's entrepreneurial journey took a major turn when she decided to enter the world of fashion. SophieGrace was born out of her personal frustration with the lack of professional workwear that was both stylish and functional. Let's hear how that frustration in her closet sparked the idea for a new business.
And so I was like standing in my closet going, why the hell do I not have like an ivory blouse that matches this ivory pencil skirt that I want to wear? And I've got to dress up for this thing. And this is difficult. And, and so I had like this like total closet meltdown. And while I was in it, I was dreaming up what I would want my perfect work wardrobe to look like, right? And how it should be modular and how it should be comfortable and how things should just like mix and match. And I am
right.
that person. I was Elle Woods at law school, right? Like I was like showing up like in my fit, my friends were in their sweats and they're like, what are you doing?
Love it.
And, but that was it. My friends were in their sweats. And so I also recognized that there was like a huge cohort of professional women who do not like clothes and fashion and do not like shopping. And they find it unbelievably painful and a giant pain in the ass.
Launching a fashion brand is tough enough, but Emma launched SophieGrace in February 2020, just weeks before the pandemic hit. With the need for workwear virtually disappearing overnight, Emma had to pivot quickly to survive. She leaned on e-commerce and adjusted her strategies to meet her customers' new needs.
And we came up with sort of 12 pieces, and I went to the bank and took out a $150K line of credit and ordered it all. And then it all showed up on my doorstep February 23rd, 2020.
Yeah.
COVID. Like everybody didn't need workwear.
Yeah.
Marketing was something that we really, at the time, the initial plan had really been all of these women's events, all of these conferences, let's show up, pop-ups, community, right? And all of a sudden, none of that existed for us, right? So we really had to then lean into digital marketing. Right. Because not only did then at that time when we launched my customer not need my product, but there was, I couldn't get out and show it to her other than on the internet.
Emma's success didn't come from just sticking to her original plan. She realized that to grow SophieGrace, she needed to listen to her customers. As demand shifted, she leaned into comfort and practicality, attributes that became the cornerstone of her brand. Here's Emma explaining how customer feedback helped shape SophieGrace.
Like I remember I actually went to New York and we designed like some really beautiful wool suiting and like I loved it. It was elegant drapey, looked like a Prada suit. It was like, whoa, I love this. And I remember like Jody Wilson-Raybould walked into my my showroom in Vancouver and I was like, oh, I've got to show you this suit. It's so good. And she was like, why would I buy that when I can buy your stretchy stuff? And I was like, yeah. So, I mean, I had to go through too, this whole sort of process of being like, this isn't about what I want.
Yep.
This has nothing to do with what I want now. That this is actually, I thought my customer wanted some things, but actually what my customer is telling me is that she wants these things.
Right.
And then it was all about, okay, how do we make that?
As SophieGrace grew, so did the challenges, especially around raising capital and scaling the business. Emma shares valuable insights on the shift in the business landscape from rapid growth at any cost to a new focus on profitability.
D2C e-commerce has been going through like massive changes, right? So when I launched this in 2020 and then 2021, 22, the vibe was show traction, grow as fast as you can, right?
Right.
Like just grow. And a ton of VCs were backing, D2C brands, and that was everything, right? And so we did that, and that's expensive and it burns money. Like, I'm just going to say it. It just, you just burn money because you're acquiring customers and you're not quite sure at what cost. And then it's like, are you profitable on that sale? So we did that. And then really at the end in 2023, everything changed. And now the focus is first sale profitability, right? Yep. So what we've done now is we've got to, okay, well, what's our average order value? What's our margin? What's the contribution? So how much can we actually afford to acquire a customer at on the first sale, right? And so now all of our Facebook, all of our marketing is really structured around that. And we're not going to be spending money on anything other than getting that first sale profitability. Now, we still know that because we've got this crazy lifetime value of $600 to $1,000 of this customer, that, even if we did acquire it over sort of our target's like 180 right now. Even if we acquired it higher, it's fine in the long run, but we don't have the capital in the short run to do that, right? Like that just burns your money.
One of the most important aspects of Emma's business strategy is staying close to her customers. SophieGrace's success is largely due to Emma's ability to listen and respond to her customers' needs. Here's Emma talking about how this customer-centric approach has been key to her brand.
And I also started to realize that actually what interested me was my customer.
Yeah.
Right? And that actually, the sort of some of the fashiony stuff and the designing something cool, like that's fun. But when you get an email from a customer that says, you've changed the way I get ready for work in the morning.
Right.
You've changed the way I go on trips and business travel. You've made my life so easy. I am so happy. And then you look them up and you're like, they're this baller, right? And you're like, oh my God, we've had this like really positive impact on this person's life.
Yeah.
And she feels now her best. And and that became for me my North Star, right? Is how am I making my customers feel every day? And are they feeling like everything that we're doing is supporting them and making them be able to do all the cool shit they do in their world easier and make their life easier, right? And that was and the team knows that. So when we get good emails, I get them. And people email me too. I try to stay really in close touch with our customers, right? Like I like sending personal emails out to people, and then I get like 200 emails back, and people describe their world and their life and how the product fits into it or what it is that they want from us. And, that is that's the magic of it, Trevor, right?
Emma's journey shows us what it means to be a true entrepreneur. She's identified opportunities in every stage of her career, from law to real estate and now in fashion with SophieGrace. Despite launching her brand right before the pandemic, she stayed resilient by listening to her customers and adapting to their needs. Emma has proven that staying close to your audience and focusing on profitability can make all the difference. Thanks for tuning in to BFH Highlights. Be sure to check out the full conversation with Emma May on the Business is Fucking Hard podcast. Until next time.